Jessica leaned in and softly kissed my cheek. "Just a weekend getaway with the girls," she said, flashing that familiar rehearsed smile I had seen countless times. I nodded in silence, watching as she wheeled her suitcase out the front door. She thought I believed her lie. She assumed I would be here, waiting for her return. She was wrong. The moment the door clicked shut, I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. For months, I had seen the suspicious late-night messages she tried to hide, the increased effort she put into her appearance on certain days, the girls' nights, and work dinners that always seemed to coincide with a faint scent of cologne that wasn't mine. Jessica hadn't been subtle. She didn't think she needed to be. That was her fatal flaw. I had confirmed everything weeks ago, not through a private investigator, but by piecing together all the inconsistencies. Her trip wasn't a girls' weekend. She was headed to a luxurious resort 2 states away. She was meeting him, unaware that I knew everything and had a plan of my own. I opened my notes app. Everything was laid out, every detail accounted for. I had already separated my finances, moved my direct deposits, and closed joint accounts. My name was off the lease. All bills now hers. Every subscription, every service I used was gone. When she returned, she wouldn't just find an empty apartment. She would find her presence erased. I moved through the space calmly, efficiently. My clothes, my suits, even the worn-out hoodie she always borrowed, packed into the bathroom. I gathered my razor, my cologne, and even the toothbrush I kept in the drawer. The fridge was cleared of my groceries. Furniture, half of which was mine, was gone. The TV, my gaming console, and even the coffee maker she always used every morning gone. By the time I finished, it didn't resemble a home. It looked like a showroom, clean and impersonal, as if I had never lived there. A quick check on my phone confirmed her recent check-in at Sunset Bay Resort. Clueless, oblivious to the fact that her world was about to be turned upside down, I left my apartment key on the kitchen counter, gave the room one last look, and walked out. No note, no message, no dramatic farewell, just silence. She thought she could cheat and still come back to me. She thought I would always be her fallback, someone too loyal and dependable to ever leave. She was mistaken. The door clicked shut behind me, and for the first time in a long while, I felt light. It was like stepping into fresh air after being trapped in a suffocating room. The golden light of the setting sun bathed the parking lot as I walked toward my car. This was an impulsive decision. I hadn't rushed or panicked. I had prepared for this moment with precise care. The apartment key remained on the counter, the final trace of my presence. Every other connection to that life severed. She wouldn't be able to reach me. She wouldn't know where I was. That was intentional. Behind the wheel, I glanced at the apartment one last time. So many memories tied to that place. Laughter, warmth, shared moments. But it had all died long ago. Quietly, when trust began to decay. The walls had never been the home. It was the love, the honesty. Both had vanished. I tapped my phone. Another check-in notification. Jessica Monroe checked in. I smirked. She thought she had gotten away with it. She was probably lounging by the pool, sipping a drink, sending me half-hearted texts between stolen kisses with another man. She had no idea I was already gone. She still believed she held the power, that I would always be her safety net. But I had taken myself out of that role. She was about to realize just how thoroughly. I drove to my new apartment, 1 bedroom, bright, clean, mine. No traces of betrayal lingered in the corners. No remnants of what used to be. The lease was solely in my name. The key cool in my hand. As I stepped inside, it didn't just feel like a fresh start. It felt like a reclamation. Later that night, as I unpacked, my phone buzzed. It was Jessica. Miss you already. Hope you're having a great weekend. Can't wait to see you when I get back. The audacity made me laugh. She was probably lounging in a robe, feet in the pool, sending that text to keep up the illusion, still pretending I was a fool. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. Reality was about to catch up with her. I powered off my phone, poured myself a drink, and sank into the couch. For the first time in what felt like forever, I felt at peace, free. Jessica's heels echoed down the hallway as she returned, suitcase in tow. The weekend, in her mind, had been perfect. Indulgence, luxury, and the thrill of a lie. She hadn't given me much thought. She never did when she was pampering herself. I was just a fixture, the one she could always return to. She reached the door, phone in hand, already composing a casual message to me. Something light, an easy excuse for her silence. But as she stepped inside, her fingers faltered. The apartment felt different. She blinked in confusion. The air was off, unfamiliar. There was no trace of my cologne. The walls felt bare, stripped of everything. She stepped inside slowly, suitcase still in tow, her stomach knotting as unease crept up her spine. Something was missing. Everything was missing. That's when it hit her. The couch was still in its place where it always had been. But the room fell off. The coffee table was bare. No notebooks or the usual clutter Nathan left around. The throw blanket he always used when watching TV was gone. She let out a strange laugh, one that didn't match the tension in her chest, and turned toward the bedroom. "Nathan," she called out, half expecting to come out of the bathroom with one of his dry jokes, but the silence was oppressive. It swallowed her voice whole. Her chest tightened as she stepped into the bedroom, and then it hit her like a punch to the gut. The closet was nearly empty. All his clothes were gone. His shirts, jeans, even those shoes he always kept spotless. The drawers where he kept his watch and wallet were empty, too, as were the framed photos of the two of them, the one she had dusted just days ago. In a panic, she rushed to the bathroom, flinging open drawers and cabinets. Nothing. His razor, his toothbrush, even cologne she used to tease him about, gone. She staggered backward, gasping for air, her heart pounding in her chest. Grabbing her phone, she scrolled frantically. No new text from Nathan. No missed calls. Her hands shook as she dialed his number. One ring, two, then straight to voicemail. She couldn't believe it. She dialed again. Voicemail again. A cold wave of dread washed over her. She dashed to the kitchen, rifling through the pile of mail, bills, forms, junk, anything with his name on it. But there was nothing, not a single envelope addressed to him. It wasn't just that Nathan was gone. He had erased himself. Jessica gripped the counter, feeling like it was the only thing anchoring her. The apartment, once filled with shared moments and familiar routines, now felt like a foreign place. She couldn't breathe. Her phone buzzed again. "Lisa." Without thinking, Jessica answered. "Hey, how was your trip?" Lisa's voice came through cheerful and oblivious. "Fine," Jessica said flatly, her voice tight. Lisa kept talking about brunch, a birthday, but Jessica couldn't focus. She stared at the empty corners of the apartment, at the blank spots on the wall. "Nathan's gone," she said abruptly, cutting Lisa off mid-sentence. There was a pause on the other end of the line. "What do you mean gone?" Jessica tightened her grip on the phone. "I mean, he left, took everything, erased himself like he was never here. His stuff's gone. He's just gone." Her voice cracked at the last words. Lisa inhaled sharply. "So he knows." Jessica didn't respond immediately. A quiet dread crept in. She looked around again, taking in the emptiness. The silence was louder than any argument they'd ever had. He had disappeared without a word, without a fight, just quietly slipping away. Lisa's voice softened. "This is bad." "No kidding," Jessica whispered, her fingers scrolling through old messages, hoping for something to grasp onto. But there was nothing, just the echoes of his absence. "Maybe you just need space," Lisa suggested, though her tone lacked conviction. Jessica gave a hollow laugh. This wasn't an impulsive decision. He planned it. He waited until I was out of town. Made sure I couldn't stop him. Lisa paused, unsure. "So what are you going to do?" Jessica stood abruptly, pacing like a caged animal. "I need to find him. Talk to him. He can't just vanish. He owes me that." Lisa's voice dropped, steady but firm. "I don't think he does." Jessica froze. "What do you mean?" Lisa's voice was gentle, but the words stung. "Maybe Nathan finally realized he didn't owe you anything. Maybe he got tired of the lies. Maybe he knew you weren't going to change." Jessica's stomach twisted. Nathan had always been a constant, the one steady presence. He wasn't supposed to leave. He wasn't supposed to disappear. Her phone buzzed again. Another text. Her breath hitched. She opened it. Message failed to send. You've been blocked. Her vision blurred. Her hands went numb. Nathan wasn't waiting for her. He wasn't coming.